Welcome, and thank you for joining us for another beautifully blessed, peaceful, prosperous, productive, and phenomenally powerful night. We are your hosts, Tori the Barber, the one and only, the only one under the sun, and the man with the plan. My right hand man, the one, the only, none other than Free Will Code.
What's happening? Free Will Code in the building. Thank you and welcome to another edition of the Free Will Podcast, where we create a community that inspires and empowers growth. We're helping each other become the best version of ourselves. What's happening, Tori? How you doing today, my boy?
Well, what can I say, Mr. Cole? We back again.
Another day. Back again.
Yeah.
For another one.
DJ Kelly. Huh?
What's up, man? How you feeling today? How was your day today?
My day was very, very, very simple. It was a very simple day. It was an off day today, so I ain't work today. You know what I'm saying? Just hit the gym a little bit, did a little bit of this, did a little bit of that, and here we are. Back again for another Free Will episode. What about yourself? How your day was today?
My day was very eventful. You know, I had to go clear up some court tickets, so I was over there. You know, I had to put together a plan for my vending machines. I had to clear up a lot of work because I'm gonna be this is a big week for me, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be leaving a little later on, so you know, I had to make sure all my ducks in a row, everything's in order, so I don't leave nobody hanging. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
You know, some people just leave to get out of there. You know, you gotta set it up for success. You dig?
That's good.
But man, I'm grateful. Come
on, man. Tell the people what you're grateful for.
Yes, sir. First and foremost, I gotta give all praise to the Most High. You know, thank God, man. I thank you. I thank Him for taking care of me,
yes, Lord,
for watching over me, and for having my best interests at heart at all times. Man, I'm thankful for my lady. Sure. See you soon. It's my tink, my everything. Shout out to moms. Mom sent me a nice. She sent me a motivational message today. And it's just, you know, it was fire, man. I just, you know, it lit up my day for sure. You know, shout out to my grandma on my dad's side. It was her birthday today.
Absolutely, happy birthday,
you know,
Mama.
she turned whatever she turned. It was a young one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I heard.
It was whatever years young. You know what I'm saying? That's my lady right there. Small things. I'm grateful for my ability to be able to touch. I can feel stuff. I can feel. Can you lose your ability to? I mean, you can have nerve damage and can't feel stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can. You can have some nerve damage and everything feels numb, but I can feel everything. You know, you can, you know, touch me all. I can feel stuff anywhere. You know, I'm gonna say that.
That's
how about to create a pause moment. You know, to live for them.
My pause
live for those.
Yeah,
it started loading up. Yeah, for sure. What about you, man? What you grateful for?
Well, first things first, all praise to the Most High. Absolutely, every time, man. I'm definitely just thankful for this place in life that I'm in. You know what I'm saying? I do believe and do feel that I was led to be where I am today at this very moment on this very single day, this very isolated day. So I'm thankful for God for all the wonderful things, the blessings, the gifts, and the lessons. Did I say that already?
Yeah.
Lessons. I feel like I said lessons twice.
Lessons
what if I
and
said
blessings.
Lessons on top of lessons on top of blessings. So I'm there. I'm thankful for God, man, to be here again in the building. Man. I am thankful for. And I gotta put on the map, man, because even to this very single day, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know her as my first lady. Cole, how can I put this?
General.
Cole titled her the General.
Yeah.
I do want to give a special shout out to the General, man, because you know what I'm saying, to this very day, I mean, she just been consistent, you know what I'm saying, through our journey together and everything like that, man. So I'm thankful for her, man, and everything that she do and all the support and all the love that she continuously pour into me and being an asset in my life. So I'm definitely thankful for her. Also, too, I'm thankful for my wonderful kids, Kaisley and Neve. You know what I'm saying? I got to put y'all on the map with me. And also my clients, because I come on here as Tori the Barber, so it's only right that I put y'all on the stage with me. Yes, Lord, thank God. Now, Mr. Cole,
Ah.
I'm thankful for you. Let me tell you why I'm thankful for you.
Yeah.
One thing about Mr. Cole, he gonna help you. He gonna give you his advice. He gonna try to steer you in the right direction, whether you ask for it or not. You know what I'm saying? So it's always good. It's always good to have somebody like that by your side, man, and just somebody to hold you accountable, gonna tell you when your shit stink, and just gonna, it's gonna definitely, he gonna be that. You know what I'm saying? If he ain't nothing else, he gonna be that. You know what I'm saying? And nobody's perfect, but you know what I'm saying?
For sure.
You don't want no yes men around you, no yes men in your corner, man. And he definitely not one of them. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's what I'm thankful for. And as far as my small blessing, oh man, it's always tough coming up with a small blessing because, I mean, the fact that I'm looking around, I'm thankful for my eyes. You know what I'm saying? To be able to see, to be able to experience life in a way through seeing. Because I have a lot of clients. I have clients. But I don't think I have. I've had a blind client before, but I also have clients that are hearing impaired, and I just get to see how different people navigate their lives in different ways. So to be able to have all my senses and sight being one of them, man, I'm able to actually get a representation on what the world look like, man. So I'm thankful for that, Mr. Cole.
Yeah. I want to comment on
Go
the
ahead.
last part. Like, there is some of us in a way take that for granted so much so to where it's like we have, like, I feel like us that we have access to all of the senses or whatever is supposed to come with a human's body, we damn, what was my point? It was like we have oh man, damn it, bro. What was I about to say?
Something about first off, you were saying we take it for granted. We have it because it's almost like we are entitled to like certain things because we born with all these senses. You know what I'm saying? So
it's like
it's almost like we just expect. What I'm pulling.
People, so people who are missing that, like I've met a lot of people who missing their senses and they're happier than I am.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's almost like they don't have to deal with. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how to explain it. I think that's what stopped me. I think I didn't want to go into that water, but I would say that it's almost sometimes it's like it's a gift to them sometimes, and they take it and they embrace it, and here we are, not grateful sometimes with stuff, just like a simple point, but just to kind of continue to throw that out there. Like I've met a few people who, they don't hear, they got the hearing aid, boy, but they get to choose whether or not when they won't turn off the noise. You know what I'm saying? They turn off the noise. You know what I'm saying? They're like, I'm good with that. And here we are, like, I missed something. I'm trying to get this, like, bro, like, I learned. You can learn a lot. We can learn a lot from those people who, do more with less. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
And that's just
for sure.
I just had to take that point to kind of practice. You gotta practice opening your eyes and stuff. So
yes, sir.
100%. First of all, I think we need to bow our heads.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what I thought you was going. That's what I thought.
Oh nah, I usually do the one after first. We gonna drop something, but
yeah.
Let's
bow our heads, y'all.
Sure, we gonna bow our heads and give some thanks and give a moment of silence, right?
Mm-hmm.
For our brand new subscribers.
Absolutely.
And the ones that get post notifications. Yes, Lord. If you don't got a D on the end of that subscribe, then get busy with that subscribe. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Put some D on the end of that subscribe. Take it how you want it. But you know what I'm saying? Make sure you subscribe. Thumbs up. You know what I mean? Send us some love, some appreciation. We appreciate you. Thank you for being on this journey with us while we grow. While you watch us grow, and hopefully, you guys can grow with us. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Well, cool. Without further ado, let's drop that word on the street. Word on the street. Word on the street.
Recent video services of Kodak Black, alarming video, I would say. Services of Kodak Black. He apparently seems to be in the street. Not himself, you know. He's eating chicken. He has some comrades around him. He's obviously off of some controlled substances. He's not himself. Very alarming. There was even a video of Kanye West, and he came out. You know, the guy who everyone else, worries about for mental health, right? Mm-hmm. He comes out and he's like, hey, I'm alarmed by that, so much so to where I want to go out there and I want to give this guy some help. Please, guys, help me with that. And I haven't seen him make that video like that for anybody, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I've actually watched some videos of Kanye West, and he has, like a recent interview that he's done, and he, no matter what, I've never questioned Kanye's sanity per se, you know what I'm saying? And he also has some very, self realizations for himself, man. Mm-hmm. But yeah, man, it's pretty alarming. You can see him sitting in the street. He's eating chicken. He's like all over the place. He has people around him sitting with him, sitting next to him in the street. He has cameras in his face, man. It's horrible, man. What you think about that, Toad? Once you seen the video, man.
Yeah, man, I almost I watched most of the video. I almost couldn't get to the end of it because it was just so ridiculous. And first off, like my dude was sitting in the street. He literally sitting in the middle of the street eating a chicken plate, eating a chicken plate, and on top of that, he got people around him, and I don't think that's his friends per se, but just how I was looking at it, it looked like that was just probably people just maybe come passing by, like they see this Kodak, so they won't get out there. They sticking the phone in his face and recording the plate, and it was so disgustingly disturbing to me because on top of the fact that, like, okay, I understand you fanned out or whatever it is, but you don't even have enough decency for a human being to eat. Like, come on, bro, get out the street. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna keep it G with you. And I'm gonna have to say this because like they knew it was Kodak. Like, instead of helping the man get his mind right or helping him get out the street, because I didn't see crackheads in the street leaning off the curb and walk straight past. I was about to say that though, like,
because to be honest, would I really have helped dude out if he was in the street? To be honest, I probably would have honestly blowed the horn at him and told him to get out of the way. Unless I knew him personally, so I would definitely say that to the defense of some people, but no way in the world he was out there by himself without somebody from his entourage. Sure. You know what I'm saying? Sure.
And I see people, they got phone cameras, they got, big money cameras, and they in the man's face and they just recording them. But, I guess like sometime over a year ago, between like a year and a half ago or so, Kodak, he did that Drink Champs interview. And on there, he looked like he was tweaking. So Kodak been kind of like struggling with substances and different things like that. But, man, I just hope that he could get it together. I definitely want to give a shout out to Kanye. The way it looked, he looked like he was genuinely concerned. And, he took it upon himself. I think he flew to Florida first because he assumed that Kodak was there. But he was like, nah, he actually in Atlanta. So I'm about to go fly out there or whatever. So I don't know if he actually made contact with him. But hopefully he was, and hopefully his purpose for actually going out there and checking on him is fulfilled. And Kodak get help, man, because he a wonderful artist. I I listen to his music sometimes, but his last album I was listening to, I liked it. You know what I'm saying? And I like when he tap into his raw artistic ability. And he could produce some pretty good music. As a matter of fact, when me and Cole first started running together, he put me on a Kodak song. You know what I'm saying? We used to run that thing all the time. That's when I got put on A Boogie too. Yeah, that Kodak and A Boogie. You know what I'm saying? So, but nah, man, to hear him go from that and to see his elevation in his career, and now it's like he crashing out, and like nobody's around to help him, or just, you know, I mean, when you got the money, I can understand why not, because nobody don't want to be that guy that try to get you straight, and then you be like, man, get the F around me, because they not supporting, like they not a yes man, you know what I'm saying? And now they livelihood getting impacted by trying to help you, you know what I'm saying? Because most of them niggas probably eating off him anyways. So man, I just hope somehow, some way that he get himself together, and not just Kodak because it's Kodak. Everybody who's dealing with substance abuse, everybody who's dealing with substance abuse, whether it be a family member or a friend, if it's alcohol abuse, any kind of abuse, and it's getting you to a point where you're just not yourself. Man, like, figure something out. I just hope that everybody who battling those demons, they able to overcome them, man, and really come from under that.
Listen, man, you can't substitute the work. It's always, that's always gonna be the truth. Mm-hmm. Money will not save you. Nope. Money will actually make it worse for you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You get that money, you're gonna do what you've been doing 10 times over. That's just, money is a tool. It's not a lifesaver. It's not God. Mm-hmm. For my people out there that's thinking that, that's your answer to that. And you are, especially if you've been doing something for a long time, you are always going to be the sum of the people around you, or the people will be the sum of, you know what I'm saying? Like, nobody, okay, so I'm going to put it like this, right? Mm-hmm. Cause you mentioned the hey, people are eating off it, so they probably won't they probably won't say anything, right? Mm-hmm. Just look at yourself as a slave. Mm-hmm. Like you a slave. Like you'll do anything for that money, even compromise your character. Yep. And then and then you fake, because the moment that the money gone, then you'll probably get to throwing it. You know what I'm saying? You gone, you'll throw it. Kodak was this and that, bro. Like, a lot of people ain't on that time, but just know that, like, your character is what people gonna remember when you leave here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what people gonna remember. Like, you don't. Like, I would rather, like, kick me out. I would rather, and I'm understand people don't have the same conscience that we do, but I'd rather you kick me out, you know what I'm saying, and be like, I don't want to be, then I sit there and witness and be a part of that man's downfall and mental destruction, bro. Like, that's, sure. Like, you part of that.
You part of that. If that man died a day tomorrow, that's on your conscience. Some people may not be on their conscience, but you definitely.
That's what I'm saying. You gotta. A lot of people ain't built like that, especially the people who was around them. But like I'm not. Hopefully something comes of. Because he'll just be another casualty. We lose people all the time in the rap game. It's just, 100%. It's because the cycle is definitely there. But hopefully, we still send our prayers out, man, and just hope. For sure. Hopefully, something happens, someone intervenes, and he's able to get to his purpose.
I mean, I know sometimes that it takes for you to wanna, because I was reading the comments on that video, and somebody said he gotta wanna get help and get off of it. You know what I'm saying? In order for it to happen, and that's definitely true. You see it in interventions, even DMX. DMX, he had his intervention televised, and he went through his motions where he didn't really want the help, you know what I'm saying, and then he wanted the help. He got, so you remember that dude Bone Gang, the little dude who used to when the last time you heard about him?
Oh yeah, I seen it. I seen the whole 360.
You seen the 180, really?
Yeah, the 180, right.
Yeah. So like for him, I wanted to bring him to the mention him, because for y'all who know who that is, he's just somebody who used to jack people a lot. Tattoos in his face. I don't know if he ever was in the streets and played with guns and none of that, but he would just go to the store, go get a haircut, and then he'd just like Bone Gang, and he'll run out the barbershop, and but something like his past caught up with him, and he ended up going to jail. He did some time in jail. I'm not sure if he got convicted while he was convicted by the Lord, while he was up in jail, or whatever the case is. But he turned his whole life around.
Yeah, that's what he said. He said he spent a lot of nights just up, or his cellmate put him on to something, onto a scripture, or he gave him a Bible or something like that, and he started to read it, and one day he said or something clicked to him, and he felt the spirit, and after that he was never the same.
Yeah,
You know.
man. So, you know,
Mm-hmm.
hey, man. Well, I don't want to drag this the word on the street on too much longer, man. I just pray that all those brothers had a moment of enlightenment, and they just kind of like they experienced that
Make it
conviction,
out.
and something happening to where they like Cole said, they get out. Without further ado, Mr. Cole, what we talking about today? Today. You want to introduce the topic? You want me to introduce it?
I can introduce it if you like. I think you. Let me see. I think you have a more of an understanding of it. Yeah, I think you have more understanding of it. Honestly.
Okay. So
yeah,
pretty much today, let me see what we talking about. Pretty much today, we are talking about I don't want to get the wires crossed.
Whether or not to be real. So let's start off with a story. You know, like a lot of times we we got friends, associates, moms, brothers, sisters, cousins, and they come up. They'll come to us. Hey, you know what? I'm going to go and start a business tomorrow. Hey, you know what? I'm gonna change my life for the better. I'm going to go and start a whatever. I'm you know what I'm saying? Or I'm going to be a better whatever it is, right? Mm-hmm. And we may immediately realize recognize the prerequisites that they need to actually get that thing, right? Or, they have an unrealistic time frame of them getting that thing. Like, oh, by next year I'm gonna have that, right? And at that time, right, I personally feel like we are responsible for something, right? And that's your choice to choose that responsibility or not, but we have a choice to either yes man that person to be like, hey, okay, that's cool, I see you, about to do your thing, I wish you luck, you're gonna be a millionaire in 2 days, you know what I'm saying? Or we can be real with that person, give them a reality check, right? Essentially, right. Give them, a reality check, right? I think the first thing that matters, right? I think the first thing that matters is like
I was gonna say something. Before we get into that, until we get into cutting down the tree, I want to ask you something. Because essentially that's what we're talking about, right? Reality check. And I have a question. You know, when we was kids, I don't know if you've ever been told, but you know what I'm saying, you see it on movies all the time, TV shows, where kids get told that they can be whatever they want to be, anything your heart desire, anything you want to be in life, you can be it. Do you believe that that's a true statement, that you could become anything that you want to be?
Yeah. I believe that's true.
Well, I guess, because I was about to add another thing, but actually be successful at it. Cause you can beat anything. Like you can get on a football team, you can make it on a practice squad and say I'm an NFL player. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But are you really in the game for real? Mm-hmm. Or you can work your way up to be in certain arenas, but right. They got levels to it.
I think the question is possible versus probable. Mm-hmm. Like anything is possible, of course, because of the good Lord. But is that probable for you based on? I would say I don't want to say this, but like that's what it comes down to.
Right.
But it's like, your whatever your purpose is or whatever your gift. Okay, your gift. We have gifts and stuff, right? That and things are more likely than others. But I think anything is possible because we've had people play in the NFL and that wasn't really their calling, and then they go into something else. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that's how I feel about that.
Okay. Me, on the other hand, I feel like I don't think everybody is that's not really a true statement because everybody don't start from the same starting point. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, because even when you're coming up, like your circumstances are different, your support systems are different, your environment is different. I think I may have said that. Either way it go, it's just things are different. You know what I'm saying? Your parents might not have no money to put up behind you for you to be able to get into certain schools and to play for certain teams, and it take a budget for that. So But if we talking about just raw ability, maybe not. Because because you're short, you might not get picked for the basketball team. So as bad as you want to be a basketball player, you just really might not ever make it to the league. I mean, Muggsy Bogues made it to the team when he was like 5'4" or something like that. He was short. You know what I'm saying? He made it. He defied the odds, but it's just not every.
Listen, that means it's possible though.
He the exception. Now you gotta be cold blooded.
So okay. So I gotta talk about the statement you made. So you said you think, based on your circumstances, that determines like what's possible for you, instead of like maybe not probable. You say possible, really. So you think based on where you come from and like your circumstances and shit. I mean, and stuff. Go ahead, block that out. Circumstances and stuff like that. That determines what's possible for you.
100% not. It don't ultimately determine. It's not like a ultimate. It's like a, how did Myron Golden say it? He says like there's contributing factors and then there are determining factors, and it may you determine exactly like what you're gonna do, but just the way, like, okay, so you can have two people come from the same household and like out the gutter. One person to be a product of his environment and use that as an excuse, and that's why he won't do it. And then they got the other sibling. He may be like, man, I want to have a family. I don't want my family to grow up like this. I want to provide a better life for me, myself, my family, and the family I'm gonna create. And they take it a different way. A lot of folks not gonna do that. So no, that's not a blanket statement for everybody in their circumstances. Some people defy the odds and they actually, make something of themselves.
So what you really mean is probable. I wanted to clear that up. So you didn't mean like possible. You meant like probable, like most, like statistically speaking, 80% of the people who, you know what I'm saying, that happen, like, you know what I'm saying, who come from where you come from or have your makeup don't make it. Like 80% or 90% of people who 5'5" don't get in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? And so
something like that.
Basically, that's what you mean.
No, I kind of meant it how I asked it, but I see what you're saying, because now that we're getting into it, it turns into more of a probable thing opposed to if it's possible. So there's always, I guess, a possibility or an exception to the rule or to the statistic. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's like 99.9%, there's always that 0.1 that's possible. Right. So yeah, but realistically, I guess I was saying, but I'm with you where you at with it. I think where you at with it, you pretty much,
because you know me, bro. Like I always like I try my best to adopt God's principles without question. You know what I'm saying? And one of the things that he says is anything is possible. You know what I'm saying? Basically, anything's possible if we put our mind to it. Not if now is that something we supposed to be doing, or are we making the best use of our time going try to put the earth on the moon? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just and you say you're gonna do it in your lifetime, you know what I'm saying? I don't know about that. You know what I mean? So that's to answer your question. You know what I'm saying? But I think one of the biggest things that I think my people struggle with when it comes to stuff like this is
like
the
your
way
family or like.
Oh yeah, so my people, I mean, like, every time I say my people, yo, I mean like my culture, like just where I come from, my black people, and not really black people, but just people who grew up maybe like, what's it called, the minority? You know what I'm saying? I don't know how to explain it. I don't want to say black people because they got white people that come from where I come from too.
New Orleans? Just say people from New Orleans.
I mean, because it's not just people from New Orleans though.
But that's where you come from.
But I mean mindset wise. Like, I mean mindset wise.
But the people from a certain place have a certain mindset.
But
okay,
poor,
I see what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? Like poor mentality.
Okay. So when you say my people, you mean people who share a similar mindset.
Right. That's what I mean. I appreciate it.
With. Copy.
And so most of those people have poor communication. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, first thing that'll happen, you know, hey, I think I want to be the president one day. Well, shut up. You ain't gonna be no goddamn president. Like you need to be president of the goddamn rump. Get out of here and go clean up. You know what I'm saying? And so like a lot of us have that you know, we develop with those responses, you know what I'm saying? And we don't even believe, really believe the possibility to even get to the probable. You know what I'm saying? And so a lot of that stuff is a hindrance to us. So, you know, I think we have to consider that being a first thing within the question. Like if somebody come to you and ask you that, right? First thing you should do is give them some, like, be real. Like you could be real, but like, you know, don't like totally shut them down. Like, you know, like, hey, like, okay, I see what you're saying. So, you know, I think that is something that's possible. You know, but I would say that you got some things like you got to learn how to, because I think that's a skill, right? A lot of people don't know how to do that. A lot of people don't know how to ease their way into something because you know, that wasn't taught to them. Like nobody ever eased nothing on to them, and they don't ease nothing. You know what I'm saying? Ease nothing else onto anything, right? You know what I'm saying? Well, lack of better words and better ways to explain it, but you know, you never want to do that. You never want to shut them down, especially if your kids, your friends, because we have dreams, and a lot of times as well, people, you're not supposed to see the dreams that people got. You know what I'm saying? Like if I tell Tor, I'd be like, hey man, I want to you know, hey, I want to put my sign. I want to have a city named after me. You know, and you know, Tori be like, for real? You know, he could do two things. He can be like, yeah, okay. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you were serious? I didn't know you were serious. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you gotta be supportive. First thing first, just be supportive in whatever they got going on. You know, and don't completely shut people down, man.
So what I heard when you were speaking is kind of like a balance between support and reality. Yeah. Right? It's like being realistic with them versus supporting them and supporting them. Because sometimes we think we supporting somebody by giving them what we think is a reality check. But a lot of times what that really just is us putting our limitations, us projecting our limitations onto them. And sometimes we can't see the potential in another person because we don't have those same values and that same potential in ourselves. So sometimes we have a situation where, you know, we may tell somebody like, man, I think I want to be a rapper. Man, you can't rap, nigga. You trying to rap. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, listen to one, this, that, or the third, and now you want to be a rapper. Like, come on. You know, but you don't really know what this man could do for real. You know what I'm saying? He might be a English scholar, and he just got the vernacular, the vocabulary, but you never really saw him exercise it. You know what I'm saying? So you don't know what he can do. But you know that you used to want to be a rapper, and somebody stepped on your idea or your dream. And so now you're doing the same thing to them. So where do you balance that? Like, where do you balance being realistic and then supportive? First of all, if you ask me, I would say, first of all, it take a lot of courage for us to even outwardly express, right? Some more than others, but outwardly express what it is that we want to do. And we talking about, I want to do this for the rest of my life. Most times it's like I want to be a successful rapper. This is gonna put me on the map. I want to be a successful ball player. This is gonna put me on the map, you know. And I'm just trying to imagine, like, if what would it have been like for me if I'd have been like, man, you know what, I think I want to do podcasts. Nigga, nobody don't want to hear you on no goddamn podcast. You know what I'm saying? You know, that could be very, very tough to digest. But I think we need to be more open-minded and then also too kind to one another. And that's very important because, like, have a conversation about it. You You know what I'm saying? Like if I come to Corey, I'd be like, man, Corey, I think I'm gonna open a car dealership. Which we have talked not about open car dealership, but like, you know, selling cars, fixing whatever, because we used to fix our own cars back in the day. You'd be like, oh yeah, cool. But like, what made you want to get into that? You know what I'm saying? Then I tell him what made me want to get into that. Whether he really think it's a good idea or not, we're gonna have a conversation about it, but it's something that I want to do. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's kind of like the gateway to actually being able to be supportive for somebody versus giving them a reality check.
Right. So the practical, let's talk about some practical things, right? Like you were just saying, what can be an immediate response after somebody's like, hey, I want to do something, no matter what it is that they're saying that they want to do, right? Let's give them a question that we can immediately ask right afterwards, right?
I got you hit him with
got
that.
one?
You hit him with that. Oh yeah.
Right. What made you want to do that?
What made you want to do that?
Wait, where you got that from? Nah, don't hit him with the way he got that from. But you can ask them like, okay, what made you want to do that? Where did that come from or whatever, right?
I guess it depends because it just depends on everybody. Like it's multiple ways you can say that. Like you could just be like, right. that's quite interesting. Like, where did you get that idea from?
Yeah.
You know, it's all in how you kind of deliver. You want to be genuine about it to where like you you're intrigued, not just like
you hit him with
like,
that. Okay. All right.
That's something. That's you got something there, boy.
Right.
To me.
For sure. And I think from there, what I determine if I need to give them the reality check, it depends on what they say after that. Like, okay, cool. If after that they hit me with something like, so depending on the answer, I need to determine whether or not it's something that they're really passionate about or it's something that they're trying to get a tool. Let me think about this. It's only two things.
Look, what if the difference between what if they're not really passionate about it, but they're intrigued by it? It's just something new. They never,
right?
You know what I'm saying? They don't have no.
I guess it could be. I guess it could be three things.
I'm just interested in it. Like, I mean, what was the second thing for you?
If they want to do it for money.
Okay.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you want to do it. You want to do it for money, and I like because that's a real thing. Like sometimes we figure out that we can do something. And we're like, oh, I can do that, so I'm gonna go do it. Like I figured out I can cook. Oh, I can cook. Wow, people like my food. Let me go and cook. But are you passionate about that? Is that something that you dream about? You think about it all the time. You can visualize yourself doing it 10 years from now. You know what I'm saying? You know, and that's actually a skill. You know, some people sometimes you go on to somebody or people. So okay, I'm gonna say this first. Sometimes you go on to somebody with your dreams who not qualified to give you an answer for what you just told them. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes people come to you and you ain't really qualified. But good thing you watching the Free Will podcast because you know to ask them. Oh yeah, what made you think about that? You know what I'm saying? Where you got that from, right? And so, you know, and then after that, right? That's your second question, right? Okay, cool. Is that something that you're passionate about? Can you see yourself doing that thing 10 years from now, right? And sometimes, sometimes, depending on who it is, right? Because we got two different kind of people. We got people who don't, who will come and you'll kind of, they may be genuine with it. And you have to let them get their own reality check, and be like, okay, cool. Well, shoot, I say get to work then. You know what I'm saying? And then they got the people who done canned you about 6 times and be like, okay, yeah, I think I'm gonna do this. Say, bro, what happened to the truck driving?
Yeah,
I thought you was truck driving.
Yeah, I thought you wanted to be a
truck driver. I thought you was doing taxes this month. What happened with that?
So look, at that point, it's time to have a different conversation now.
Right.
Like I know you came to me about doing this, but I think we need to have a different conversation. I have a family member of mine, actually. I say my little cousin, and he have a dream of wanting to rap. He want to be a rapper, and I remember having this conversation with him, and I'm seeing his ability, but I see his passion. And I see his, like, say for instance, like he got like just like his daddy he used to do music. So I was wondering, like, man, I wonder if you want to do music because your daddy did music and you kind of want to, you know what I'm saying, follow in those steps. And like, I can imagine if you have passion for music. I mean, a lot of us are passionate about music in some way, form, or fashion. What does success for you look like as a rapper? And he was like, man, I just want, I want to be on. I just want to be known. I want to be known around the city. And I said, okay. I said, so what does being known around the city look like for you? Like, you gonna be like known around the city and rich? You gonna be known around the city and you just want to be known? Because I said they got a lot of people who famous and broke. You know what I'm saying? Or infamous and broke, rather. And so what does that really look like for you? And why do you really want to do this? Like, why you wanted to be an artist and then be successful as an artist? Like, what purpose is tied into you doing music? Like, how does music tie into your purpose? And then, and then I didn't ask him this, but I'm thinking about it now. Like, what does your purpose do for other people? I think but that's a whole nother conversation when we're talking about purpose and all of that kind of stuff. But it was just one of those conversations I had to have. Now, I didn't like step on him. Now, he have friends who he grew up with who do music, and they kind of like on the up and up, and they elevating, they getting better, they this, that, and the third, and they doing the damn thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what do you see for yourself in this realm, and how does success look like for you? So that's actually a conversation that I had once upon a time, and it's not an easy conversation to have because you don't want to make a person, like, my goal for having that conversation was to establish a certain rapport to where, like, we can be open and transparent about those things or whatever, because I realized, like, he don't really have guidance like that. And so this was like probably almost 2 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So just us being where we at, and you see somebody who maybe not looking for help like that, but you see that they can use it, and kind of putting yourself in position to be that in their life. Right. I don't know. It's just kind of like my
listen,
situation.
big on that, man. Big on putting yourself in a position, because a lot of people, what makes that conversation the hardest is most people actually lack individuality, right? And like individuality and like real self-awareness, and they just want to really do it because they see it and they want validation. Like, cause he said he won't be known. He just might really want to be known and seen rapping as an avenue to be known, right? Okay, so you won't be known. You won't be popular for something. You can be popular for something that you're really good at. It don't have to be rapping. You know what I'm saying? Because honestly, like, let's say if he wasn't good, right? Because that's a thing, right? Like, that's another thing. Like, let's say, like, because that's probably the most popular one. He like, I'm a rapper. Like, listen to all my music, right? And you really trash, right? They really like horrible. Like, how do you have that conversation? Like, hey, bro, I can see you passionate about this thing, but I'm not gonna lie, man. You're not there yet. You know what I'm saying? You got some work that need to be done, And I want you to answer two questions. The second one is, can your passion take you all the way where you want to go? Like, can you have passion and not gift with it? What you think about that?
Okay. So that first question, very interesting. I don't really remember the question fully, but I remember my answer. I remember the answer. So the answer to the question, the first question is, like, it was something about, like, if you really like kind of like trash, and you know what I'm saying, how do you have that conversation? I think it starts here. And I realized this. Remember I mentioned, like, his daddy do music. Now, I'm not saying that man trash, but this speaks more to him wanting that to be his avenue to be popular. You see what I'm saying? Now, not to put the man business on blast, but I would just say, like, he could have had
he put the man business on blast.
Right, but I'm gonna say it like this: he could have probably had a better, like, if it was up to him, he probably would have wanted to have a better relationship with his daddy. You know what I'm saying? Growing up, you see what I'm saying? Okay. Because this what my daddy used to do. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't get to spend as much time as I may have wanted to spend with him. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's why that's his avenue, and maybe he don't necessarily want to be popular to the city. He really want to be popular to his daddy. You see what I'm saying? Like he really wanna like maybe being popular around the city would be like he can like check that box off, and his daddy could acknowledge him for doing that. Cause once upon a time his daddy had a little motion in the city. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day. So maybe that's really what the drive is. You see what I'm saying? So I think the conversation and the answer to that first question is get down to the real why and what's fueling, you know what I'm saying, you go in this direction. Like I don't have to tell you that you sad, but I do want to know why you going this way, and maybe I can help you realize that this I don't necessarily have to go this way. Cause one thing for sure, two things for certain. If you good, like good dope sell itself. You see what I'm saying? So you know if you good or not. Like now, some people just be trying and they just be in the sport of it, and some people be kind of.
I don't know, too.
Some people don't be knowing. I don't know, some people don't know.
I didn't see some people. I'm talking about posts every day. I'm talking about go hard. I'm talking about on Bourbon Street rapping. I'm talking about going 100,000%. They believe.
I guess that go into the next question, right?
Yeah.
I don't even know for the first question.
Yeah, and I want to comment on something. So sometimes with stuff like that, right? You need to, in that moment too, when you realize that was a, believe it or not, part of his self-awareness was in your hands, right? And then I feel like in that moment we got to ask ourselves a question, something I wish I would have asked myself in a lot of different interactions that I had with people who I tried to mentor in a way, right? I had to ask myself, am I qualified to help him navigate this cloud or uncertainty?
Just the space that in, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This uncertainty that he's in, right? Because you can directly affect his relationship with figuring out uncertainty. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, sometimes it's better just to point somebody in another direction. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I don't know, but you should talk to this person. They're a rapper, you know, and let them, you know, and let them be real with you because they really rapper. He gonna tell you, they gonna tell you if you got what it takes, and they gonna tell you if you do got what it takes, what you need to do. So go ahead over there. I'm gonna give you such and such, and you know, listen, right? You know what I'm saying? Instead of me sitting there trying to figure it out with you, right? So sometimes that's a realization that we need to, that you need to have. You know what I'm saying? As a stewarder.
For sure. And so something that came to mind with me was identity. When you were saying what you wanted to, like point them in different directions to somebody who's more qualified to minister to them in that particular field. Right. And like, what do you do if your identity is tied into the very thing that you're pursuing, the very thing that you're passionate about? You see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, that's tough.
Because sometimes you might think, and you might truly believe, like, this is really like all I have. Like, if I don't make it in this, I don't know what I can do. I don't even know. Because think about it. Sometimes, like, you might not be the best, like, let's just say rapper, since we talked about that. Like, you might not be the best rapper, but you didn't invest so much time into listening to music and freestyling over beats and trying to write the beats. Like, you didn't develop no other skills nowhere else in life. That's it. And you may not be doing good at that. But if somebody tell me like, yeah, this not it for me, and they're not hating, they just like, listen, it ain't gonna happen. I mean, cause the competition is stiff. I'm gonna just say that. Like, we got the Kendricks of the world, you know what I'm saying? We got the other local, the competition is stiff. So, but what I'm saying is, so chances is you're not gonna probably hit what you think what you want. You know what I'm saying? You want that. We all see that, but we not gonna all be that. What else can you do? You know what I'm saying? So what do you do there when their identity is tied into the very thing that they're in pursuit of?
I say this, right? I will say this, right? You can believe me or not, but if you believe in God, you should believe me. Everyone on this earth, no matter who you are, has a gift. Everybody got that gift. So after, and if you are in that place, then it's okay that you don't know who you are, right? Like I'm like, there's a reason why they be like, there's 1% and then there's the 99%. 90% of people don't know who they are, and even if they have an idea of who they are, they don't pursue it, right? So don't feel like, because I think that's something that the first thing that I would feel like, man, I don't know who I am. I don't have no identity. I'm a nobody. No, you're not. You just ain't figure out who you are yet. And that's a journey, right? That journey should be embraced, right? Like, hey, yo, I'm not a rapper anymore. I don't really know what I want to do. But I'm gonna figure it out. Like, a lot of people are uncomfortable with not knowing what's going on, and so I'm here to tell you that it's okay. Like, it's good to not know. It's good to have then was going in a direction, and that's, you gotta do a whole thing. Like, look up some stories where there's millionaires that made money off of doing stuff for 10 years and realized that ain't even what they wanted to do. And they made a pivot. People who've been doing stuff for years, and like, they got, like, look up the people who started businesses when they were 60 years old. You only in your 20s, in your 30s, in your 40s. You got time in your 50s. You got time, right? So I would say first that, hey, you know what I'm saying? It's cool. You thought you wanted to do that. You like rap, like, or you like being a salesman, or you like being an actor, or you like the art of acting, right? And so you can still have a passion for it, but that's really not really your calling,
where
right?
your gift at,
You know what I'm saying? And figure out what your gift is, and then you go from there.
If I could be transparent with y'all, man, that's honestly something, and I'm gonna just speak for me, that I'm still on the journey to really find out what my gift is, for sure. Like, what my path is, and my life path. Because something that I did to myself years ago, and I realized this, and it shows like in my most recent years. Once upon a time, when I first became a barber and got in my first barber shop, right? When I got a booth in the first shop I worked at, and I started making a little money. Like, I was working at Sam's and stuff. I think my biggest paycheck when I had I wasn't even a 9 to 5, because I was like in school, in like barber school. I was working part time, and I think my biggest check probably was like 5, or maybe I might have hit like a $600 check, a bi-weekly check. But man, when I started cutting hair, there was a point in time where I started making a little money, and I'm like, man, like in 1 week, man, I think it was probably like when I first hit like $500 or $600 in like 1 week, and I'm like, man, it used to take me 2 weeks to make this. Now I'm making it in a week, and then it got to a point to where, I was making it in a few days, and oh man,
I told myself, it in one day.
Yeah.
You wasn't gonna put that out there.
No, because you never know who watching. You know what I'm saying?
For sure, hey. So I'm lying.
Nah, but for real, man. All jokes aside, man. So I got to a point, and I consecrated this identity for myself, and I said, I don't ever see myself doing anything else, hours for dollar, making money outside of barbering, outside of cutting hair. Thus, bread, Tori the barber. So even to this day on this podcast, I come on here as Tori the barber. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's still a part of my identity. Like, I can't necessarily, like I said this, I say, bro, like, at the time, I don't know what I was making at the time, but I said, man, look, and this was like first year too. I probably wasn't even making $30,000 a year or $40,000 a year yet. But I was like, I don't care if somebody offered me a $200,000 like a salary of $200,000 a year job. I'm not gonna trade this for that. I say, because for one, I truly love what I do, but I know I can make that with this at some point. I just gotta be at a certain level to do it. So before I trade this to go do that just for the money, I'd rather stay here and figure out how can I make those numbers doing what I'm doing right now. Problem with that is that you have to, like, for me, it can't all be about the money. You see what I'm saying? Because when it's all about the money, you get burnt out on what it is that you're going after. But it's not really my point. My point is this. That's where that question from identity came in. You know what I'm saying? When I was like, you know, if your identity is wrapped into what you're doing, because if your identity is wrapped into that thing that you say you want to do, man, like me, I'm still trying to really figure out what my path and my purpose is in its totality. But I may be presented with an opportunity for that to be expressed and for me to come to a realization of what that is. But because I limited myself to just being a barber, which that's, I mean, a barber is a phenomenal thing in its own. But I said I'm gonna be a barber. I may have missed opportunities that could have put me in places that could have, you know, highlighted and truly broadcasted what my true purpose is and what my gifts are. With other gifts that I don't even really realize I have. So now I'm trying to figure out the rest of the equation with limited factors. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So just be mindful of that.
Yeah, and that's something we do too, man. Like in that journey of self-discovery, you know, we start to like be what they say, beware of the destruction that you can do by living like doing the woulda, coulda, shouldas. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey man, I could have did this. Why I'm over here doing this? Again, that does not matter. You know what I'm saying? Like you have, I won't say you have a lot of time, but you have enough time, right? I had to figure that out too. It's like, okay, well, I got time. I'm in my 20s, but it feels better when I say I have just enough time, right? Because that gives you to wanna, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but then,
that's
you know, it should also be like, okay, I got enough time. It should you know, make you feel comfortable, not comfortable, or relieve you of the stress of, hey, I might not have enough time. You know what I'm saying? But that's big, man. Like we do something, and you know, life is like about chapters, I believe. You know, like certain things also, if we didn't have those prerequisites, we wouldn't have what we need to get to the thing that we really need to get to. You know what I'm saying? So like life is about interning for that thing before you get the thing. You know what I'm saying? And however, you might not know what's going on, right? Like I might not know why I had to work here and then work there and then work there before I got here, but I learned something from each one of those places.
That is,
you know,
beautiful. Oh yeah, that's so
you
good.
know what I'm saying? So don't ever regret where you've been at. You know what I'm saying? Use it and embrace it for where you're going. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, beautiful. Prime example, Club. I can't add this piece. You know, my very first job is a place that I said I would never work at this place. You know, I thought you know what I'm saying? I didn't really need a job at the time when I was saying this. You know what I'm saying? But man, my first job was at McDonald's. Actually, my first job, it wasn't really like an official, like on paper type thing. I was doing like parking. I was like, you know, like downtown on what that place is, that street?
Borges?
Convention Center Boulevard.
Oh yeah,
and I was like with the flag and like park over here. But past that, like I wound up getting a job at McDonald's. And that was my first like real like kind of like official thing. And you know, they had me in the window. They call it the hole. The hole is where pretty much you don't want to hand the food out the window. And because I was just really good with, you know, people, you know, I was just kind of good, you know, enlightened and respectful, and different things like that. And then, so I had that position to play at McDonald's, but then at my second job, I went to Sam's. Sam's, I'm interacting with people too. People asking me for help, for direction, different things. So before I even became a barber, and was dealing, all this is people related, by the way, customer service in a sense. You know, like what Cole was saying, like my prior two places of employment definitely helped me establish, you know, the skill set to be able to deal with people on a day-to-day basis, because that's what I do to this day. I'm dealing with people. So that's true.
Yeah, that's big. That's big. So we may have answered the question, but I'm gonna ask it.
Go ahead.
Do you think you can be 100% successful only with passion and not with a gift.
Only with passion and not being gifted.
And not
But you're
with the gift that
passionate
was
about it.
assigned to you, but you were super passionate about it.
I think that may work for some things. Nah, call me Mr. Gray Area all you want. Like that may work for some things because the requirement to be successful in certain areas, in certain fields, may not require a lot of skill. Now your passion can lead you, like if you have enough passion and you have a good enough work ethic, that can be enough for you to become successful because you have the passion and the work ethic. But I don't think that will work for everything, anything that you may possibly want to do. But because there may be some things that may kind of hinder you from reaching that level. But you know what I'm saying. But passion and work ethic with some things, yeah, I think it can be enough to get you.
All right. So basically, what I took from what you said, you was like maybe you can have enough passion to actually develop a skill to actually, you know what I'm saying, do whatever, do something, whatever, right? I don't know, man. I actually don't know the answer to that. I think I do have a thing in my mind that says I think that you can will your way to anything. I believe, right? If you have the will, but then the will gotta come from somewhere. It gotta be, I guess that's the passion thing. But are you really ever going to be as passionate as you can be when you're not inside of your gift? If that's what God created you to be, though. You know what I'm saying? That, I don't know the answer to that. You know, I mean, it sounds good, but I'll have to definitely do some more research on that. But, so let's talk. You about to say something?
Yeah, the tougher part about that is like, how do you, because it kind of come to different people at different times and in different ways, but how do you ever really know when
if you're in your gift?
If you're in a gift that God have for you, or you in that place that God intend for you to be? Because you may have something that you just really, really like. Like I like music. I like, I really want to. I like the piano. I have a piano, but I mean, I'm not all that good at it because I don't have the work ethic to really sit there and really master it. But let's say I do master it, then what? I'm supposed to be on tour somewhere with the piano? No, not necessarily.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, how do you know for those who have found a way to get really good at something? And how do you know that you're not in your, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
Yeah. I think they say that it's something that you are always good at and it's pretty seamless for you. And from my experience, it was always there. It was always there in your upbringing, in your childhood. It was always there. Like it was always there. If you think about, maybe your hobbies back then or the things you used to do and you did it well, it's gonna be something that comes easier to you than others. Like it's like minimal work is the require. Like you only have to improve it. You don't have to go and get it. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that's what it is. And you just have to, you have to do some real self-discovery and like spend a lot of time with yourself to actually figure that out. And a lot of reflecting and maybe a lot of research, like, hey mama, what was something that was always easy to me? You know what I'm saying? Or hey, you grew up with your grandma. Grandma, what was something that I was always, I always had a knack for or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Just a lot of that stuff is required to actually a lot of stuff is actually required to, figure it out, But let's talk about people who, like that next step after you had that conversation with people, right? That next step is, hey, like, when is it time to support them? Like, we don't really got to do a reality check, or we do a reality check and now we're doing a follow. We see them. Let's say, hey, we seeing them and they putting in work. They're consistent now, you know what I'm saying? They're showing improvement and, maybe they're receptive to feedback. Like, what does support look like? You know what I'm saying? For that person, you know what I mean? And to how important is the support? Is support coming from you to that person?
First thing, I think that how significant the support coming from me is to them is dependent on how what's the word? It's pretty much how important or significant I am to them in life, period. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And also too, if I even have any, and if not for that, like, do I have any relevance in whatever it is that they need support in?
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Because that's another thing you really mentioned that earlier, is where I get that from, is like, I might not be qualified to truly give you, but support can come in different ways. You could be like financial support, you could be moral support, you could be whatever support. So it's like, it just depends on what it is that they need. But finding a way to help somebody is always just a great thing in itself. You know what I'm saying? But like, if you can't be direct, I mean, like, if you really want, like, if they need support in a specific way, and you can, like, say for instance, like, they have a budget, like they want to go on to camp trip with for whatever, and you have the means to support them. Like, do what you gotta do. Be like sponsor their dream. You know what I'm saying? If you can do that. And if not, if support is like, if you have, like, I might have a client that has his daddy in this particular field, and I might be able to arrange a meeting with them like that. It could be support that way. So it just depends on who it is, what they need, and how I can help.
Yeah, I like that. I just do what you can, do what you can. Whether it's like, they got this dude I went to school with, right? He's ironically, he's a rapper. Mm-hmm. But I see his consistency, right? Mm-hmm. But when he's on, he on, like, and he a fool. Mm-hmm. So something came over me, and I'm like, I'm about to send him a message. So I sent him a message, like, it's just, I don't know what he got going on, but I just sent him something like, hey, whatever, bro, I see you a fool. Make sure you get out of the environment that you came from. Make sure you look at your circle, whatever. Because that's something I'm good at. I practice that stuff. I'm good at. So I just gave it to him. I ain't expect no reply back or nothing. He actually appreciated it. He hit me back. He like, bro, man, I appreciate that, bro. I've been, it's something that I needed that. You know what I'm saying? And it's not gonna always be like that. It'll sometimes be oh man, I appreciate that. Sometimes you might not even get a reply if it's something like that, right? But support might be a repost. Support might be some likes, and always, I feel like you should always support people. Okay, let me say this. I'm gonna say you should always support people who you actually believe in. Like, don't give out no fake support to nobody. You know what I'm saying? Or give out support because you want, like, you gotta be healthy. Like, this is assuming that you're a healthy person, because a lot of us who aren't healthy, we'll be like, I'm about to support dude. You got some jealousy and some envy and stuff like that. You gotta deal with that, right? A lot of people think that jealousy and envy is like, we look down, you jealousy, you envy, like that's human, honestly. Like just to comment on that right quick, you got some jealousy, some envy going on. That just means you got to get some work done. That's all it is. That just means you need to be going up to somebody and be like, hey, I'm thinking about getting rid of this jealousy and envy that I got. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to figure myself out. Dude was a rapper. I felt like I wanted to be a rapper, but maybe that's not my calling, or maybe I don't go hard enough. Like a lot of y'all not gonna get to where you need to be because you ain't trying to be vulnerable. You ain't trying to let it out. Like, I'm gonna be real with you. A lot of y'all not even gonna go ask them questions and sit where you need to. Like, you'd rather hold it in and be unhappy than to like you. It's almost like you feel rejection. Oh man, I came up with this thing over the weekend too. I ain't gonna lie, bro.
There it is.
It's like I forgot exactly what I said. I should have wrote it down. But it's like, I'm okay. I'd rather get the rejection and have the truth than to fear the rejection and be in the dark.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
It's kind of like what you were just saying. Is like, supporting, being healthy and supporting, and being supported by people who really care about you, not somebody just telling you what you want to hear just to get you out their face, or just to tell you something to make you feel, what I'm saying, make you feel good.
Yeah, get the truth. Like you gotta surrender yourself. Like you gotta, if you want it, if you want whatever you want, you gotta give it. Like you want something, you gotta put yourself out there to get it. Like nobody gonna come knocking at your door. Like nobody about to come find you and give you what you need. You gotta put yourself out there to get that. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, you know, only support people who you actually believe in. You don't actually believe in them. You don't feel like they doing something. You don't support what they're doing. Like don't be fake. You know what I'm saying? And just, you know, but if you do believe in them, like you do feel like they got something going on and they have potential with it, support them. You don't know who's supporting them people. You can see 1,000 comments under their post. You be the 1,001. You know what I'm saying? Like don't be like that, right? I was talking to somebody today. I was actually talking with Chuck Muller today, right? He was like, he put me on game about something, bro. He was like, he said it's a guy who got the he has like the news page or whatever. Okay. So he was saying he went to Miami or whatever. And somebody was trying to hook him up with somebody. And you know, he was like, man, I'm not about to go and follow that dude. And he said dude went off on him. He like, yo, bro, that's what's wrong with you New Orleans niggas. Like, y'all you know, like y'all be scared, like y'all don't ever put yourself out there, like y'all ego be killing y'all. You know what I'm saying? And it's like nobody not gonna give you nothing. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, we be like, man, I'm not gonna go be no groupie behind dude, but like, bro, it's like you do whatever you gotta do. Like you worry about how people gonna look at you after you going, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what that really is putting yourself out there. Like you go on network, you gonna connect with people. You know, like, I'm gonna stalk nobody. You know, but if you gotta wait for them to come out the party just to shoot your shot, then do that. You know what I mean? And to be honest, I need to change that, but I got that mindset. Like I'm not about to go in. I don't know, dude. Dude don't owe me nothing. I'm gonna go get it done myself, and I'm gonna be stuck where I'm at. You know what I'm saying?
That's real big because we need people. You know what I'm saying? We need people. Everywhere you go and everything you do, you're gonna need somebody, especially when you started from the ground. You know, now some people, you know, they get popping on social media and different things, but you know, to a degree, you listen. In order for you to get popping on social media, you need the people's attention. So there's nothing in life. Yeah, like it's always gonna be something. There's always going to be something that you need somebody else for in life. So, yeah, that's definitely not the mindset you won't be stuck in. Yeah.
Yeah, man, this is a great conversation too. 100%. Without further ado, take us out the game.
Without further ado, we just want to thank each and every single one of y'all for being attentive and being in attendance. If you're not catching us on the premiere, we hope you're catching us on the playback, and if you are catching us on the playback, welcome, and we hope you enjoyed the broadcast, man. But guess what, Cole? This was a phenomenal conversation, extraordinary conversation. I had a lot of fun shooting it. I can tell you did also too, and I hope y'all had fun and was very intrigued while listening to it, and y'all made it to the end, man. So, without further ado, we present to y'all the Free Will Podcast, and we will be here next Friday, 8:30 Central Time. But don't just meet us there, Cole.
Beat us there, huh? And listen, if you ever been in a situation where you had to decide between supporting somebody or giving them a reality check, let us know. Comment below. Share your stories.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
Yes, Lord. And we gonna see y'all again on the next one.
We out.